Every evening, after a light dinner and a warm cup of tea, my grandfather would slowly make his way to his bedroom. He'd turn off the main light, switch on his night lamp, and finally point an old table fan directly at his face. That fan wasn't fancy. It whirred loudly with each spin, its breeze strong enough to make the curtains flap gently against the wall. He didn't mind the noise. In fact, he often smiled and said, "Now this is what helps me sleep." Everyone in the house got used to the sound of that fan, like part of the night itself. But I started to notice something. Every morning he would wake up early, tired with red eyes and a dry throat. Some days he'd mutter, "Strange, the older I get, the harder it is to sleep." I used to believe that too, that it was just part of aging. But then I tried something very small. I simply changed how he used that fan. And what happened next, I honestly didn't expect. If you sleep with a fan on each night, thinking cool air helps me fall asleep, then the story I'm about to share may help you see that habit through a different kind of lens. Because sometimes what feels soothing at first may be exactly what's keeping you awake without you even knowing it. My grandfather lives a disciplined life. No smoking, no alcohol. He walks slowly around the garden in the morning, sips warm tea in the afternoon, eats meals on time, turns off the TV before 9 p.m. His phone is only for calls never used before bedtime. From the outside, you'd never guess he had trouble sleeping. And yet for years now, he rarely sleeps through the night. Some nights he sleeps 2 hours, then wakes up. Other nights he wakes at 3 a.m. without any clear reason. Our family used to think it's just part of getting older. He believed that too. When I asked him about it, he just smiled. It's been like this for a while. Sleep just changes when you get old. But one thing always struck me as odd. Despite his poor sleep, he insisted on turning the fan to full blast every night. Not to cool the room, he pointed it straight at himself. Wind hitting his face, neck, and chest directly. He'd say it's easier to breathe with the fan strong. Without it, I feel suffocated. I started watching more closely, and I noticed something. The nights when he tossed and turned the most were the same nights the fan was blowing hardest. So I started digging deeper and discovered something that few people talk about. Strong nighttime airflow lowers the temperature of your skin. The body responds by tightening blood vessels' tiny constrictions, which subtly activates the nervous system. For older adults, this creates a faint sense of alertness, making it easier to wake up and harder to fall back into deep sleep. Younger people may not notice it, but for my grandfather, a man whose body was used to order and balance, even a slight shift in sensation could unravel his sleep. Then there's the emotional side. He feared feeling stuffy, still carrying memories of sweltering childhood summers with no electricity, fanning himself all night just to sleep. Turning on the fan full blast wasn't just habit, it was comfort, a way to feel safe. Which is why he never imagined that what he believed was helping him sleep might actually be the very thing making him wake up every night without understanding why. When I gently suggested trying something new, he replied, "But I've done it this way for years. No one ever said it was wrong, and I understood. No one's wrong here." It's just that his body had changed, and maybe now it was time to listen to it a little softer, a little closer. I didn't tell my grandfather right away that the fan might be the reason he wasn't sleeping. I knew if I said it too soon, he would brush it off. Because that fan wasn't just for comfort. It had been with him for decades. The fan meant more than cool air. It gave him a feeling of control over his space, like he was still the one in charge of the room. So instead, I began with quiet observation. Each night, I jotted down a few small notes. 900 p.m. Fan at highest setting. Aimed directly at his body. wind blowing into his face and chest 3:10 a.m. He woke up to get a drink. I did this for 5 nights. Each one the same, and every night he woke up at least once. He never really complained. But in the mornings, his voice was hoarser, his eyes a little redder. One morning, I gently handed him my little notebook. Then I smiled and said, "Grandpa, how about we try a small experiment? Just for a week. Let's move the fan a little to the side and lower it by 1 speed, just to see what happens." He squinted at me and chuckled. "But strong wind helps me sleep. That breeze cools me down." I nodded. "I get it. We're not turning it off, just angling it slightly so it doesn't blow straight into your face, but still keeps the room cool." He agreed, not because he believed it, but because he cared. For the first 3 nights, we angled the fan toward the wall on the left, set it to medium speed. The gentle hum was still there, but no more wind hitting his chest directly. I taped a small note beside his tea tray. Each morning, he could mark if he had slept at least 4 hours without waking. After night 3, he gave it his first. I said nothing, but he looked at me and smiled. Maybe it was just a cool night. I nodded, but in my heart, I knew something had quietly begun to shift. So I took one more step. I brought home a small floor fan, low quiet, and without rotation. It sat far from his bed, sending only a soft breeze across the room. No wind on his body, just gentle air in the space. He looked puzzled. "This doesn't feel like it's blowing at all." I grinned. "Just 2 nights. If it doesn't help, I'll take it back." Those next 2 nights, he didn't wake up once. The next morning, he marked another, then added a little smiley face and said I slept so deeply last night. No dreams, no getting up to use the bathroom. Strange, huh? That's when I knew he was ready to change, not because of logic, but because his body finally felt ease. Then I introduced one last thing, a white noise machine, not a fan, but a sound generator that mimicked the soft rustling of leaves. He was amazed. "This sounds just like lying in a hammock under the old jackfruit tree." From that night on, he turned the fan off early, turned the white noise on, pulled the blanket neatly around him, and lay there without trying to force sleep. Because sleep doesn't need to be chased. It just needs a space that's gentle enough. Less harsh wind, more quiet comfort. He used to believe that what helped him sleep was the feeling of being cool. But now, he understands what he needed most was the feeling of being safe, so he could simply breathe through the night. You don't have to stop using the fan. You don't need to change your entire room. All it takes is softening things just a little. After 2 weeks of quiet changes, my grandfather started saying something new. "Each night, I think I'll keep the fan on low now. I don't need it to work so hard anymore." Because sleep doesn't come from effort. It comes from what's enough. What's gentle, what's just right. 1. The fan stays, but with a new approach, slow it down. He now keeps it on the lowest setting. No more roaring wind like waves crashing on a beach. Just a soft breeze like wind moving through bamboo leaves. Redirect the air, no longer aimed at his face or chest. The fan is now tilted to the side, sending air toward his feet or across the wall. Use a timer 30-45 minutes. He no longer has to remember. The fan turns off quietly once he's already drifted into sleep. And the best part, he never felt like he lost anything. If anything, he felt like he was taking back control of his night. 2. Creating a room that welcomes sleep. Each evening I helped him reset the space, not by moving furniture, but by adjusting light, sound, and mood. A slightly opened window, not wide open, just a small crack enough for a quiet breeze to slip through, like a breath at rest. He once said this breeze doesn't blow, it glides. A soft wind sound machine, a small device playing a gentle wind through leaves. No chill, no white noise ringing, just a rhythm that calms the brain like a lullaby for the mind. It was as if inside his thoughts there was finally nothing else left to think about. Folding the blanket, writing one thankful line. Every night he would smooth his blanket, fold his pillow like a quiet ritual to mark the end of the day. Then he'd write one line. The birds sang loudly today. My nap was dreamless. The weather was gentle, no AC needed. Just one line, no overthinking, just a gentle way to close the heart for the night. And when everything was in place, he turned off the light. No tossing, no turning, just sitting still, eyes closed, and waiting for sleep to return like an old friend who had finally found the way home. He once told me I used to feel like I had to fight sleep, work for it, do something to earn it. But now I just sit quietly, and it comes. That shift didn't come from theory. It came from listening long enough and softening just enough. Elderly folks don't need a smart room. They don't need high-tech air systems. They just need a warm yellow corner, a soft breeze, and the quiet feeling of being safe, to let go. Small wins, soft nights, deeper sleep. If you're still here watching these last few moments of the video, then maybe you too sleep with a fan blowing on you each night, just like my grandfather used to. And maybe like him, you've always believed cool air helps me sleep. But if you still wake up feeling tired, if your eyes feel heavy, your throat dry, your sleep broken into pieces, then maybe that breeze you once thought was soothing is the very thing quietly keeping you awake. I'm not asking you to make a big change, just a gentle invitation. Tonight, try something a little different. Lower the fan's speed by just one level. Angle it away so it doesn't blow directly onto your face. If you have a white noise or wind sound machine, try it. Or simply crack open a window just enough for the night air to flow in as slowly and softly as your own breath. You don't have to stop using the fan. Just ease it down, soften it, let it be enough. Because as we get older, our bodies don't need more wind. They need a signal. It's safe now, you can rest. Each night now, my grandfather no longer wrestles with sleep. He doesn't lie there, thinking or waiting. He just dims the lights a little earlier, sets the fan to a softer setting, writes one small line of gratitude, and closes his eyes. And you can begin the same way. You don't have to wait for sleeplessness to take over your life. Sometimes all it takes is choosing a gentler breeze. If you try it tonight, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below. Have you tried lowering your fan speed? Did you notice any difference? Is there a small habit that helps you sleep more peacefully? Or, if you don't feel like writing, do this instead. Turn off the lights, turn off the fan, and quietly whisper to yourself just one thing you're grateful for today. You don't need a reason to deserve good sleep. You just need to choose softness, to choose a wind that isn't too strong, and a heart that's a little quieter before it steps into the night. Because you're not alone, and you don't have to just accept sleepless nights as part of getting older. Sometimes just one small shift is enough to invite sleep back, like an old friend who never truly left. Even the wind, when too strong, keeps the soul awake. Wishing you a soft night, and if you sleep even 1 hour longer tonight, remember this. It was you who opened that door with one small change in the wind.